What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. With this video, we are jumping into Batman The Knight, issue number 5. If you haven't been checking out this series, be sure to look at the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this young Bruce Wayne. And so far, this really has been a ton of fun. We are doing a deep dive into Bruce Wayne going across the world and doing his training, learning from the best of the best. Henry Ducard, arguably the best detective in the world, the one who taught Bruce Wayne everything he knows. He gave him a list of individuals that are truly going to help him become the person he wants to be. This list of people, this is what creates Batman. But Bruce Wayne isn't doing this alone. Having a traveling companion, learning everything that he is learning, the man that goes by Anton. Assuming that this is a made-up name, Chip Zdarsky seems to be really concreting Ghostmaker into the lore of Batman. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 5, we have Bruce Wayne and Anton currently locked up in a Russian prison. They have been in here for 13 days. Every single day, they have guards coming in to give them a beating, trying to get any information on why they are here. The Russians believe them to be some kind of spy. Every day, the two of them, they proclaim their innocence, saying that they are simply American tourists that get captured by the police. On this particular day, when they come in and they start giving him a beating, what they show Bruce Wayne is a photo of the one and only Alfred, trying to use Alfred as leverage against him. The idea hanging that if he doesn't say what he is doing here, Alfred could be the next one in one of these cells. This is the thing that almost breaks Bruce Wayne. Now, Bruce knows that Alfred is SIS trained. He could probably withstand interrogation and torture much longer than Bruce ever could. That doesn't change the fact that someone he loves and cares about would be in danger, that he may have just killed the only person that has ever truly cared about him outside of his parents. As he fights with all of these thoughts inside of his mind, the jail cells click open. Both Anton and Bruce, they make their run for it, taking out some guards on the way, making their way high up, knowing that they won't be able to take on the army of guards on the ground level. They have to try and figure out their escape from up here. As they get their way all the way to the top, this is where they run into Alexei, the department chief of this facility. But what we quickly learn as she pulls off her mask, this is Avery, the individual that they have come to Russia looking for. And this was all one big test, ensuring that they could keep a secret. After 2 weeks of long torture and interrogation, neither of them broke. As they find their way back to Avery's place, she divulges that Henry Ducard had already let her know that a young American was on his way to get some training. She needed to ensure that he would keep any secret that she might have. Unexpectedly, she did not anticipate the arrival of Anton, as Bruce Wayne vouches for Anton, saying that he wants to learn the arts of espionage and sabotage, to learn what it means to truly have on a disguise. With Avery being more than intrigued, they make their way to her cave, letting the both of them know that if you're gonna be in this business, you have to have a place where your reality is looking right in front of you, really laying the groundwork for what will eventually become a bat cave. This is where he gets the idea. And down in Avery's cave, she has a little bit of everything, from computer systems to multiple disguises, indistinguishable from real human skin, with Avery letting them know that this is going to be a lot of work and they still actually need to prove themselves. While they pass the first test, there is multiple things that they need to learn before they even get close to having a mask and disguise. She also reveals that this is not some guy named Jack. This is in fact Bruce Wayne. He had been lying this whole time to Anton. Of course, Anton is more than likely giving us a fake name as well. Avery Avery already knowing exactly who he is. The question she has, someone like you, someone that comes from wealth and privilege, do you have what it takes to actually become somebody else? And so without wasting any time, they jump right into it. And Bruce Wayne can only describe what she does as magic, an illusion, being able to convince others of such falsehoods. For Anton, this came very naturally. He could connect to people on a level that Bruce Wayne just hasn't found out yet. What he did learn about himself is that he can really connect with the criminal element inside of this place. That came much easier to him than being the playboy, than playing the role of Bruce Wayne billionaire. And so this part of the training is really them just learning how to manipulate people, how to get people to do things in their favor. That's what takes us to the next day. 2 Americans have just currently been taken into booking, the police station directly behind them. Their mission is to get the 2 of them out. As they make their way inside, the 2 begin a discussion with the arresting officers, trying to find any way to break some middle ground, to try and find a way to get these 2 out. But the 2 only come off as really pompous, as American tourists just trying to get their way. That is until Anton, he begins to speak in Russian. This changes how the Russian officers actually look at them, seeing as they have learned the language like many Americans just don't do. Anton having a discussion with them, they are able to get the 2 Americans out. With their release, Avery asks how they did it, and what Anton had done is bribed the officers. Because in this country, the police officers are just so badly underpaid, and they are more than willing to take a bribe to get that extra money. And one of the officers having a very nice watch on. This tipped Anton off to believing he would take a bribe. Bruce Wayne a little bit upset that he lost at this, believing that could be cheating. But this is just another lesson, especially for someone like Bruce Wayne with all of his money, that sometimes money can get you what you want. The next part of our training takes us to the American embassy in Russia. The mission is to get a little book. An officer was recently sent this book from a disgruntled SVR agent. This book was filled with all of the locations of the Russian safe houses. Anton and Bruce need to get this book and get out without being detected, each of them having a separate target to go after. It is a race to the finish. Whoever gets to the book and gets out first returns the book to Avery, they win. While Avery loves to make all of these things just a big game, this is actually very serious stuff. If the wrong people have that book in their possession, that will be the death of many individuals. While Bruce Wayne tries to chat up this female consulate, he quickly realizes that she is married and there is no way this angle is going to work. Now for Anton, he was given a guy that just wanted some conversation. Bruce Wayne being a little bit petty, he has to run interference. He wants to go and try to get this for himself, making his way up there and accidentally running into him. He gives him what is known as the tortoise snake touch. 3 pressure points perfectly applied. 10 seconds later, the blood flow briefly stops, all going to the brain. And so the general, he falls down. This causes an immediate panic, but this gives Bruce Wayne the opportunity to make his way to that office before Anton can get there. Anton being the first one to get to the book, Bruce Wayne still trying to figure out a way he can steal this book from Anton. This is when the guards come rushing in and Bruce Wayne decides that he is just going to let the mission be completed by Anton, letting him know that he can make his escape, and Bruce, he is going to take on these guards. And one by one, he wrecks them, leaving all of these men unconscious and bloody on the ground. The 2 of them, they meet up a little bit later. And of course, Bruce Wayne, he's a little bit disappointed that he didn't win this. But he also lets Anton know that he's not sure what he's doing. He feels like if he is not the best, that when he returns to Gotham, he will be nothing more than a failure. Every step of the way, Anton has been beating him, has been being his better, thinking just maybe he is not cut out to do all of this. Maybe he is just reaching too high. As Anton comes in, he really just tries to comfort him, tries to let him know that he is absolutely terrific, that he doesn't have to be the best at everything, that he is extremely skilled, and that he simply needs to stop being so hard on himself. As they get interrupted by Avery, she asks the two of them who won, who was able to get the book. Anton, being cocky, going to reach inside of his jacket, only to realize that Bruce Wayne snatched it off him, apologizing to Anton but saying he was not willing to lose again. Avery asking for him to hand it over. He takes that book and he throws it into the river because he knew if someone got that book, the wrong people, it would mean the cost of many lives. Believing the best course of action is to destroy it, telling the two of them that they are now ready for some masks. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I thoroughly have been enjoying this entire run. I also highly recommend that you guys check out Batman the Detective. That follows more of the story with Henry Deckard. But after Henry had given him this list, he is now going around the world learning from the best mentors that this world has to offer, finding some kind of companionship in Anton. Like I said in the beginning, this is really cementing and concreting Ghostmaker into the Batman lore. We have been seeing him more and more throughout all of the comics. Currently the leader of Batman Incorporated, and so we can only assume that he is going to be playing a much bigger role as time goes on. Taking Clown Hunter underneath his wing, they are ensuring that Ghostmaker is really concreted into a Batman story, to all of continuity for Batman. This is going to make him a real player. It's going to make him somebody that is much more active throughout all of the Batman comics. And I haven't really looked into it, but I'm sure that we're gonna get some Ghostmaker solo stuff. Be it him controlling all of Batman Incorporated, or it has to do with something else. Possibly him mentoring Clown Hunter. But all of that is gonna have to wait, I'm sure, because right now they are in the middle of Shadow War, which is another series that we are covering. Be sure to check it out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you like this video, and until the next breakdown.